Okay, so this may be a pretty short stream. I'm doing this while my husband and my son want to go catch some breakfast or lunch. I don't know. We just woke up. Um, so this time we will have a bit of audio, or at least we should have some audio. Let me hop over from my TV and check out to see if you guys can actually hear me. Essentially, what I'm doing, you're probably going to hear an echo. Yep, you can. So essentially, what I'm doing here is just walking through how I set up my UI. It's just my preferred way to do it. I kind of like to go into Figma and make a general layout of how I want things to be. And then using a couple of different tools like Affinity Designer to make some of my parts and MDI Icon to bring in some elements. Try to make whatever this layout is that I've decided on. And of course, I'll make adjustments as I go through. But let's get back in it. So here what I've done so far is I've gotten a button, a little toggle switch for an alarm that goes on and off. It's a little PM sign here along with the time. I put it in 24-hour time just so I can make sure I got my spacing somewhat right. And here I have what is supposed to be some buttons that can click back and forth through the options that I have set right here for my media player that's in my living room. So if it's on TV, whatever buttons I have set up would control the TV. And when it's on Sonos, it would control my Sonos, along with displaying information and stuff here. But I haven't gotten that one all the way figured it out yet. I think I broke it right before I got off the stream yesterday. And I actually really want to move on to this section right here where I try to create a little menu slider. So we'll get that going. Let's see. And that's my old Harmony Hub. For some reason, my Harmony will not connect to the internet, let alone connect to a Home Assistant all the way through. So that's kind of an old setup here. Um, if you're wanting to know what hacks files I have installed, I've got Mini Media Player, Circle Center Card, State Element, Multi-Line Entity Card, which I haven't gotten that one to work yet. And I just put in the swipe card. Let's see here. If you have added the state element in hacks and it still does not work, pull it out of all of the folders that it comes nested in. Like it comes in the community folder, like everything else, and then each card has its own folder, and then inside that folder they have like the actual JavaScript, I assume, file, and then whatever in the world that is. Pull it all the way out of all of those things. And if you're looking here inside this little state element drop down, I have absolutely nothing. And put it right on the root of your local folder. And that's what I had to do to get it to work. It doesn't work for me when it's nested inside any folders, and I have absolutely no clue why. But let's move on. So I have my base menu here. And this one's actually the menu bar. And a lot of times I just copy things and move it down. But let's go ahead and grab a state icon. And just paste it in. And what are we going for here? I guess the first one that I want to do would be the one that sits in the middle. And I feel like I want my room selector to actually be what sits in the middle. Have my weather here, my AC here, but I think I want my room selector to sit in the middle. So let's go grab couch. I am not in love with any of these couches. Nothing for seating. Let's just try seats. And I guess I'm just stuck. And I think I went for the outlined approach. Yeah. And this is all gonna change based on what's there once I figure out like my spacing and everything else. Mm, and I guess in my input select, I need one called room. Yeah, we'll just go with room. My options here. Master. Cam, it's my son's room. And living room. We'll start with those. My living room and my kitchen are kind of mixed in together, so that works. And yeah. Let's come over and reload our input selects. Make sure we got it there. And that's now our entity. We'll go back home and drop it there. So on this, what I actually want my tap action to be. Looks like I may have done something wrong. So we're just going to take all of that out. And I usually like for things to sit like right in the middle or close to the middle of the page. If someone knows how to get that to stop popping up, I would greatly appreciate it if you told me. Because that gets on my damn nerves. Alright. So, oh, I have it rotated. Sometimes I just like to comment those things out instead of actually taking them out. Because if you'll notice, most of my stuff is just copy and paste. So sometimes I want those variables there so I can copy them. What makes this easy is because I know I want it centered. We can put it to 50% there. We can pretty much just line it up exactly with the menu bar that I have here, hopefully. And this is why I say, like, once you get a couple of your elements lined up and you know everything else is going to fall in line with that, it becomes easier to kind of plot everything out. So here we go with the couch as our option. And view height. I actually want this one to be up just a little bit. So let's go 79 view height, just because I don't know all the time what view height's gonna end up looking like. So I nudge it just a little bit. And no, I know I can nudge it just a bit more. The micro adjustments are the most annoying part because you want everything to look perfect. Um, Especially because I don't like the boxy grid that most people's Home Assistant looks like. I want it to look custom. But there we go. And under that, I want the title of what it is. So the room menu and name. Room menu icon. So, and I spend a decent amount of time styling the actual names that I give the menus, just because if you can't tell, this file is gonna get huge, really big. And I still want to be able to find what I need to find when it's time to make an adjustment. So that's the base menu, but this is the room button. Base menu is kind of the main section. Room button is like a subsection, so I won't put it. Just an easier little way. If I'm looking over here, I can see, okay, subsection, main section, subsection of that main section. And this should just be state. The view height on that, let's drop to 80. If this pops out with the icon that I want. Oh. This is where that custom state element comes into play. And this is why it's so important to all of my setup. I just want the title here. I want whatever that state is shown as on my entity list. Master. And here. Because it's not an icon, I don't need that. Once you get one of them done, you're just playing a copy paste game. Tap on the icon, room selector pops up. I can tap over to another room and that state Name kicks over. Living room. So what happens here is now I can add a tap action to this icon button, and that tap action can navigate me to another page. And that other page can have kind of this same exact setup here. It can have the time in this corner. It can have this menu down here at the bottom. And it won't look like I just re-navigated to a whole new page. It'll just look kind of like all these things stayed here and just the background and just the buttons changed over, which is pretty cool. And this is going to differ from the actual multiple dashboards I do, just because, let's say this is the iPad that's in the living room or the Kindle Fire that's in the living room. And my son is in his bedroom and I want to turn his lights off or I want to turn his TV down. I don't want to jump all the way into his dashboard to do that. I just want to pop open the controls that are over there in his room really quickly, turn the TV down, and then hop back right over to the room that I'm in. What else we can do here that's really cool that I'm just not about to do as of yet is to create my own pop-up card. And that pop-up card can be completely customized just like a regular picture entity card. And I can make that pop-up card just as unique as I've going to make this background. But we got a couple of more micro adjustments that I want to do right here. I really wish I could figure out how to... Let's see about that swipe card. I think I installed it. If not, then let's go ahead and install that swipe card. Because I want to see if I can get that whole entire bottom section to be kind of a slide through navigation. Here we go. Swipe card. And oh, yep, I did put it on there. But did I install it? No, I didn't. Well, yeah, I had to have installed it. Let's hop to the repository. And see if we can get anything up and going for this. Yep, it's lined up exactly. So one of the things I will say is I like when I go to a repo and they have an example down here at the bottom for me. So I can pretty much just copy and paste that example, kind of like I do when I'm starting off with any card from like a picture elements or anything like that. You'll see that I'll just copy this and paste it straight into my setup. Check to see if it works by like changing the entity over and then making my adjustments. That way I know that what I have actually works. So here, I assume I need to leave these brackets in and then put all my cards in, or do I need to take these brackets out? I guess I'll find out. So let's see. Got a swipe card here. What do I want to add in? Let's just add a simple entity. So even here, do I know how to add an entity? Yes. Do I care that I know how to add an entity? No. I'm still going to go all the way down to the example, copy it, and paste it in. Because I want to make sure that it works the way that it's supposedly supposed to work. Took me forever to figure this out because once again, I'm not a coder. Highlight, I think it's control, and then the back bracket to tab everything over. If you knew this already, congrats, because I did not. Alright, I got red lines, so I assume I got something wrong, and I don't have a downstairs vacuum, so let me hop over to my entity list and see what's here that I might want to grab. Ba, ba, ba. This one's just kind of a dummy. I keep on forgetting that this is here too. And alright. Save that and see what happens. Alright. Swap card does not exist. Let's hop over. If you're ever wondering, if you go to Lovelace and resources, you can see what resources have actually been added and uploaded. And Lovelace, custom Lovelace, swap card, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I didn't see it here. And in my local, I don't have anything called custom Lovelace. If you get a card that doesn't always work right for you, I know sometimes you can just go find the actual JS file. Yeah, everyone know why I don't make a card? It's because I don't know what any of this stuff means. I don't know what any of this means or what it can do. And I have ideas for cool cards, but they will stay ideas because God bless the people who understand how to code. That's all I'm gonna say. God bless y'all. Y'all are a beautiful, wonderful godsend. I don't know what else to say. Um see if I can go to save as swipe card JavaScript file. We'll just throw it on the desktop. And that is saved. Let's just drop it straight into the local. Alright. Now that we know exactly where it is, let's come here and delete all that. And we'll come back here. I think we can reload resources. I think it's on this one. Let's see if that works. So my whole point of doing this is to have a more realistic view of how people kind of configure their home assistant setups. A lot of times, someone will just post a picture of what their setup ends up being, and you're wondering, like, well, how did you get there? Well, first off, it takes a lot, a whole lot. And secondly, there's probably like a lot of failure in between that you don't see that made them decide on like certain design aspects. A lot of times you'll look at something and you'll say like, oh, well, I would have done XYZ. Like, well, they probably would have done XYZ too, but XYZ is complicated. So instead, we compromised here. And it looks like that's what I'm about to do on this swipe card because I just want to move on. So yeah, as of right now, no swipe card. And what I essentially wanted to happen is for these to just be on kind of an infinity swipe where you could just run your finger, catch here, and kind of push back and forth on your selection. That way, if I wanted to add more to this menu, I could without changing the aesthetic of how big or small I had it. Let's see. I'm just looking at the live chat to make sure no one's commenting anything yet. And no one has. Alright. So with that no longer an option, let's go ahead over here, make a couple of micro adjustments. See how far up or down we want this. That view height actually didn't give what I thought it was gonna give. Let's go 88. Am I moving anything at all on this living room? Oh, because I'm not adjusting from the right spot. At 85. 80 was probably good. Let's go 83. Boom. That kind of looks perfect there. And what I actually want down a little bit is this one. Okay, I'm comfortable with that. I feel like I should make this a var, and I probably will end up making this a variable. Let's see. I'm gonna close this notes thing. It was the one that I had up yesterday. And it looks like my family's back, so I may be shutting this whole live off in just a moment. Mm-hmm. Everybody on the internet can hear you. Hello, everybody on the internet. Yeah, I'm gonna sign off now and hop back on probably when my son takes a nap. But and I'll probably be back on about 2 hours or so after my son takes a nap.